Hey everyone, this is Gary Kay, and welcome to another edition of my Rants and Raves video cast. We are working our way towards CEDIA and the new CIX show in Denver, Colorado. CEDIA covering the high-end residential, CIX covering the commercial market, and I'm here with Jeremy Sternhagen, who is the technical marketing manager at Planar, obviously with the little badge on your shirt. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm great, Gary. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. You've had a lot going on since last year's CEDIA, and really, I would credit your team as one of the reasons why CIX is actually happening, because you've been a company that straddled both the CEDIA and the commercial market, and really the CEDIA channel, the segment that they're kind of targeting is resi-commercial. So we'll talk about some of the products that could target that market, but most excitingly in the last few years, your outdoor LED products, which I saw first, I think, at CEDIA last year, or maybe I saw it at Infocom, then CEDIA again last year. You're going to bring that back to CEDIA, but have a higher resolution version of it, basically.
Yeah, our Illuminate Ultra series is expanding and growing, and now we have the industry's finest pitch, a 1.2 millimeter outdoor LED wall. So the pitches that are normally reserved for indoor resolution is now able to be deployed outdoor with Illuminate Ultra.
Yeah, and you had the 1.5 on display at CEDIA last year, and this year you'll have the 1.2 in your booth. And that, I think obviously this technology works for both residential and commercial. And a lot of people probably wouldn't have thought about putting this in residential applications until we had the pandemic, and people started spending a lot of money instead of on vacation, staycation, staying home. But obviously, when you look at, I watch TV shows and movies, and I see these fancy houses with outdoor pools and really nice yards and stuff. I could see myself, if I had one of those, putting an LED outside. I mean, what the heck? I would love to do something like that. So I think this is an opportunity for the channel to kind of go after a new market and say, look, this stuff is ready for prime time to be outside.
Yeah, DirectView LED overcomes pretty much every single objection a traditional flat panel or projector or video wall would overcome, and that's because outdoor LED is traditionally very bright, and Illuminate Ultra is no exception. Our Illuminate Ultra 1.2 is capable of 3,500 nits. So chances are most of our customers will be turning it down even in the noonday sun. But they can rest assured in knowing that even in direct sunlight, this display will function perfectly.
And to me, one of the big, just as an observer of the industry, one of the big advantages of Planar is, as much the technology is the individual service that you get, because you're based in the US, right? I mean, you have an office here in the US, and I think that should not be taken for granted, because ultimately, if you need support or you need help or you need ideas as an integrator or even an end user, you want to know that you're going to be backed up by a company that is on your time zone.
Yeah, that's one of the things our customers love us for. We've been based here in the Portland, Oregon area since we started in 1983. And the majority of our products are manufactured and serviced right here by our Hillsboro headquarters. And that means we have product in stock, we repair here locally, and we also have technicians, Planar employee technicians all around the world, with a particular concentration in North America. So we are always close.
Well, let's talk about your direct light, because I know that was a huge deal when it was launched in the commercial market. I know you're going to bring this to CEDIA. Tell me where that fits in the CEDIA channel as an example. We know where it fits in on CIX, but where does it fit in with CEDIA channel?
Right. So we have had multiple direct view, fine pitch, indoor, on-wall, front access product families over the years. And our most popular product has been TVF, and we are in the process of updating that product family to now be part of the Direct Light family. So our flagship is Direct Light Ultra, which we can talk more about in a minute, but now Direct Light Pro is the family that is just underneath Direct Light Ultra. And it brings most of the product features and benefits of Direct Light Ultra into the Direct Light Pro family. And the big advantages that we have with this product family is more pitches and more brightness than its predecessors. So it's going to be in the booth and on display in a really big configuration.
And what's the difference between the Pro and the Ultra then?
So at the moment, we're at launch right now. So this is going to change as we roll out more models down the road. So Direct Light Ultra features off-board electronics, so the power supplies and the video processing is off-board. And our Direct Light Ultra family goes down to 0.7 and 0.6 micro LED. Direct Light Pro is 0.9, at least today, and has onboard power.
Okay, and so if I'm putting this in an actual home theater, that might be an advantage because of all sorts of issues, right? I mean, you're going to get a much smaller form factor, and also potentially less noise. I mean, there's not really a lot of noise in an LED, but if you're offboarding the electronics, I guess you could put those in an HVAC closet, and then have just the display in the room. Is that the idea behind that?
Yeah, traditionally the intent behind offboard power is, with at least an LCD video wall, it was taking a point of failure and putting it in a closet or offsite into a remote room where you could service it easily. Well, DirectView LED is so easy to service that, you know, the accessing power supplies is a little bit easier than it used to be. But for some of our customers, the benefit of offboard electronics is that when you are deploying the LED video wall, you don't have to pull a bunch of AC circuits to the wall location. When you have offboard power, the AC can all reside over at the gear room, and then you just have low voltage running to the wall. So it's taking away a potential expense to have offboard power. And then in the event of a power supply swap or anything like that, it's seconds, no servicing of the wall required.
And in the UC space, the all-in-one has been really popular. I know that you're going to bring that to the show. Again, we know why for the CIX market, why that's going to be interesting. But if I'm part of the CEDIA channel, what do I care about an all-in-one? Why do I want to sell something like that?
Yeah, so with our new UltraRes L series, that's the first of our all-in-one category of LEDs. And the big advantage of all-in-one is that it takes away much of the planning and prep and cabling and things that you would do to deploy a traditional LED video wall. A traditional LED video wall gives you all the flexibility to hit any size, shape, resolution, but many of our customers just want one of a few sizes, 135-inch diagonal at a standard 16:9 resolution. And an all-in-one allows you to assemble a product because it's pre-configured to achieve that exact configuration. It allows you to unbox it, install it, plug it in, turn it on in a matter of hours, 3 hours, instead of, traditional LED video walls taking, a day or two, or maybe longer if it's a really big wall.
And I kind of think this is a softball question, but what about putting that on wheels and then kind of pulling it out when you need it, kind of an application? Doesn't that simplify that? And if I'm like a sports bar and there's big games constantly happening that you don't need the display out all the time, it gives you sort of an advantage, especially in these places where you have outdoor overhang areas that, are kind of covered, but are still outside. It allows you to put something outside at any time you want. Also put it anywhere else you might want to put it, right?
Yeah, our all-in-one family by default comes with everything you need for a wall mount installation, but we do offer an optional rolling cart. So with the same exact mount that you would use for a wall, that mount can affix to the rolling cart, and then you have a giant LED video wall that can roll from room to room or perhaps temporarily outside, and you can move it around as you need it. So if you're in a sports bar or a school or an office building, you can just roll it from room to room as needed. And another big advantage of our UltraRes L family of products is it runs on a single 110 volt power cord. So that's another big thing that LED video walls have traditionally needed, is that you more often than not are not going to run an LED wall on a single 110. Right. But we've designed our UltraRes L series to run on one power cord.
And what about widescreen? I mean, in the theater, you have wider aspect ratios than 16:9. You mentioned 16:9. In the commercial market, we've seen 21:9 become a standard thanks to Teams and Zoom. But what about in the high-end residential market, and CinemaScope and things like that?
Yeah, so we've been doing every size and shape and aspect ratio you can imagine for our entire history. We're familiar with 21:9 in the LED video wall space, projection space. We have history in all of those categories. And it's always been personally a topic near and dear to my heart because I'm a movie guy, I'm a movie nerd. And just this past summer, we announced our very first 21:9 LCD display. That's our UltraRes W series. And that is a 5120 by 2160, 105-inch display. So it is a 21:9 aspect ratio, 5K resolution. Yep. And definitely the gravitational pull for that was Teams, and that aspect ratio is growing popularity in meeting rooms. But in the luxury space, 21:9 has been around since the 50s. Yeah.
We call it something different, right?
Yep.
We don't call it 21:9. What do we call it?
Scope, CinemaScope.
CinemaScope.
Yeah.
I think it's 1.9 to 1 or something like that, or
the vast.
Or is it 2.1 to 1?
Yeah, Hollywood likes to, there's more than one standard, but 2.35 to 1.
2.35
common. Yep, and that's mathematically the same as 21:9.
There you go.
And then the PC world has different names for it too. So, but yeah, this product at 105 inches, that means if you're watching 16:9 content on it, you get roughly an 85-inch 4K resolution image. And then when it's time to flip over to watching something filmed natively in the scope format, you get away from having black bars on the top and bottom, and you get to fill your entire screen. And this product also has multi-source viewing built into it, so you could watch 2 sources at once. And then we also are able to do 21:9 in LED video walls. We showed that last year at CEDIA, and we're going to show it again this year.
Yeah, and in fact, if you think about LED, you can build whatever you want, right? I mean, you're not even constrained. And I think it should be mentioned that there is this crossover resi-commercial. There's all these opportunities for residential companies to not just outfit homes, but also sports bars is a good example. Restaurants is a good example of that. And there are going to be pulled into, I mean, if you're the CEO of a company, you're going to be pulled into, hey, can you do my boardroom too? And you might as well do it, because these all-in-ones, as an example, make it a lot easier for you to do. And you're accommodating everything they're going to need to do with it, right? I mean, this is there's a merging of these opportunities in the channels.
Absolutely. Yeah. The LED video wall space has come a long way, to the point where I remember, nearly 20 years ago when 103-inch plasma, how much those cost. And now you can buy a 135-inch all-in-one LED wall for less than what a 103-inch plasma cost. And so many of the objections that might stop someone from putting an LED video wall into a sports bar or a meeting room or a lobby, by and large, those objections are just disappearing. And our all-in-one product really helps kind of push that forward.
Yeah, I remember spending a lot of money on a plasma. I remember doing that, so guilty. All right, well, look, you're going to be in booth 1501 at CEDIA, CIX, right basically in the middle. I expect big things from Planar. You're going to have a great show. Jeremy Sternhagen, thank you very much for joining me today. You, of course, go to planar.com. We're covering everything that is and around CEDIA and CIX shows. We have separate microsites for the shows, and we'll go and shoot videos on all the stuff we talked about today and more. So check it all out at ravepubs.com. Jeremy, thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gary. Great to see you. See you at the show.
Yeah, and thanks for watching. Check out all of our coverage at ravepubs.com.
With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves.